Hey everyone, this is episode 32 of Disney Channel Original Newbies. I'm Joanna.
What up, what up? I'm Sam.
And today we are going to talk about the 2001 movie, The Jennie Project.
Who here is excited to talk about the Jennie Project? Why am I the only one with my hand raised?
Before we start, thanks everyone for bearing with us while we had a little break. I ran a marathon and I lived to tell the tale. It was pretty cool.
And you didn't cry at all?
No, I didn't cry. It was a big improvement over the last time I ran this marathon.
Well, congrats on that.
Thanks.
I was there. I witnessed it at certain points, so I know she definitely ran at least half a mile.
Yes, I did. That's a fact.
She may have gotten driven the rest of the way, but definitely saw her at 13 miles, definitely saw her at 21, and definitely saw her at the end for about 0.2 miles at a time. So congrats on that.
Thank you. Thanks for coming to cheer.
No problem.
Yeah. All right, Jennie Project.
Let's do it. So just to start off, Jennie is a monkey.
Yes.
No, an ape. Not a monkey.
My prediction that this would be about a group of girls who basically live out the plot of She's All That, completely wrong. I was way off.
You weren't that far off because there is a chimpanzee in this movie. Oh, wait, no, you didn't say that. You just said...
No,
right,
no,
right.
But they do give her a makeover. She wears a dress at some point.
She does, and she hates it, I think.
She does.
Either
Actually,
that
I don't know
or
if
I
she
saw
does.
a video on TikTok or YouTube about a monkey trying on outfits and didn't like them.
I think the monkey in this movie was neutral.
Okay.
So that was probably a TikTok movie.
Sure.
Yeah, TikTok
A
movie.
TikTok movie. My
TikTok
favorite.
movie. Oh.
Can I just say my favorite types of movies? Yeah, so the basis of this movie is that there's a father who goes away for like a year at a time, basically, to go do his studies. There's a wife of the husband, obviously, who is not a huge fan of it and is taking care of their children. There's 2 kids? 3 kids?
2 kids.
There's 2 kids.
Son and a daughter.
There's an older brother, not much about him. He's just in school. And there's a younger sister who's also in school. Not much background on the family besides that.
Pretty much everything we know about this family is from the moment that the dad gets home and Jennie, the ape, pops out of a bag because he packed her in a duffel bag.
Right. It like basically
As
like
one
punches
does.
his way out
Yeah.
of the bag.
Yeah, naturally the way to transport an animal is to put them in a duffel bag.
Right. The father, Hugo, was in Africa with some African tribe. A chimpanzee had a child, so he took the child chimpanzee with him.
Because the mother was killed by poachers.
Died in the process of giving birth to the child.
Yes, but because she was shot with a poison
A
arrow
poison dart, yeah.
by poachers.
Guys, don't do that.
Yeah, that's a
Come on,
dick
guys.
move.
Just don't do that.
Yeah, just don't, yeah, like you said, don't do that.
Yeah. So the whole family, well, the daughter, it's not really clear, but the son's not happy whenever the father has to go away, and the mother's definitely not happy whenever Hugo has to go away. She is pissed.
Well, it seems like it's not the fact that he goes away, it's the fact that he extends his trips by months.
Right. He was away, I think they
So-
said like 8 months for this trip.
Yeah,
It's
he was supposed to be
ridiculous.
gone for like 3.
Yeah, the mother's not having it.
Also, can we talk about how whenever they talk about Africa, it's just the continent?
Yeah, I don't think
Like
they say what
he's
country he was in, right?
Yeah, it's just Africa. It's like someone coming to the United States and being like, yeah, I hung out in America.
Do you think all he wanted in life was a cracker?
Yes.
No one's going to get that reference.
One person might.
Maybe my brother will see. I mean, we won't really get into the details here, but so the monkey comes back, or chimpanzee, whatever, named Jennie. They're trying to teach Jennie how to act just like normal, but Jennie is more associated with humans than with other chimpanzees. So she kind of just thinks she's a human.
Yeah. So the dad, whose name is Hugo, He works at a university, and he gets permission from the university to basically study Jenny's behavior.
Right. And Jenny throughout the movie just like sneaks away a lot, makes big messes. He like bites the head of a doll at some point, the daughter's doll.
She's not thrilled.
No, taunts the neighbors, like absolutely taunts the postal worker.
I would say that she harasses the postal worker.
Oh my god, real like eventually we find out she's stealing his mail. Well,
Yeah,
not his
she's-
mail, I guess other people's
the
mail,
mail
that he's delivering.
The mail that
Yeah.
he's delivering. Yeah.
So he's not too fond of her for good reason.
Yeah, this movie is basically just Jenny's shenanigans, how she interacts with the family. And there's another researcher who's basically kind of like Jane Goodall-esque. And she's
Well, I
decides...
felt like Jane Goodall would be more like Hugo in that like she was like living. I guess she kind of does live with them in that facility.
Yeah, that's why I said esque.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm
Jane
sorry, I missed
Goodall-esque.
that. Dr. Pam.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
So she wants to teach Jenny sign language, and she makes an agreement with Hugo and the family about when she can meet with Jenny. And yeah, that's the whole movie.
Pretty much. Yeah, the facility that she runs has like 4 or 5 other chimps there. And she wants to teach. I think it was she wanted to use this one because this one was basically never in the wild. So she wanted to see if it has the same like learning processes as other
apes.
Right. So she comes over to the house a bunch. She teaches the Jenny sign language. Jenny is not receptive to sign language.
We think.
Well, she's not. She doesn't care. She's just not having it at first because of the people involved. But she only really does anything once the son gets involved in it.
Yeah, but even then, we're not really sure that she's receptive until she kind of has a moment with the mom, basically towards the end of the movie.
Right. No, that's true. Sure. Like, yeah, like really like 3/4 of the way through the movie, we don't know she's actually picking up any of the sign language.
And then she's like, I'm learning.
She's like an expert, we find out.
Oh, yeah, she knows. She's fluent in American Sign Language.
Yeah. And Alex, the son, develops a really strong bond with Jenny, more than pretty much anyone else, even Hugo. Although Hugo's obviously obsessed with animals and Jenny generally.
Yeah, well, Hugo is the dad, is going to work every day. So he brings this ape home in a duffel bag. And then he goes to his wife, who has no training on how to care for this animal, and says, I'm going to work for 8 hours a day.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. And then she's like, what? You want me to take care of our 2 kids and a wild animal?
She reminds me of the wife from The Shining. You ever see the movie The Shining? How she's just like in Stockholm Syndrome the entire time and just like in a total panic.
Yeah, this woman, she needs a divorce. She needs to get away from this guy.
I think that happened in the second Jennie Project, probably.
Good for her. Ladies, if he leaves you for 8 months after saying that he's going to be gone for 3 months and then brings home essentially a baby and says, you take care of it, bye, he's not right for you.
It's not a good sign.
Yeah, red flag.
Yeah.
Major red flag.
Especially if you're with them for like at least 12 years at that point.
Yes. If he's the father of your children and he brings home someone else's child, that's a red flag.
The mailman has a very prominent role in this movie. And he's in a lot of other movies, which we'll get to eventually. And Andrew, the son, is worried that his father's going to get called back with another grant. So he's waiting for something in the mail about his next mission. And he tells Andrew about this. So Andrew knows that he's looking for something in the mail. So the mailman gives him a piece of mail, which is from the organization that's going to ask him to come back. And he's like, you know what? I don't want my father to go away. I'm going to go hide this piece of mail. So he tells Jenny all this too, which we don't really know that Jenny picks up on it at the time. And Jenny thinks the mailman's bad because she thinks that the mailman is trying to get Hugo to go away. And Andrew doesn't want that to happen. So that's why Jenny starts stealing mail from the mailman.
Yeah, she's getting revenge in oh my God, I just forgot his name. The kid's honor.
Andrew?
Andy. Yeah. She's
You can call
getting
him Andy if you
revenge.
want.
Getting revenge in Andrew/Andy's honor.
Do you think he wrote Andy in the bottom of Jenny's foot?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, most likely, right?
And then
Yeah.
the sequel is Toy Story.
Yeah, the first Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the
It goes
timeline...
Jennie Project, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Tokyo Drift, Toy Story 4, right?
Actually, I think Toy Story, the first Toy Story, came out before this movie. Did it come out in 99?
I don't know.
So it goes Toy Story, Jennie Project, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Tokyo Drift,
Okay, yeah.
Toy Story... Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And then Toy Story 5, Jenny's Revenge.
Yes.
But that one's not out yet. It's in production, but...
We'll talk about that when we get there. Yeah.
That's when the divorce happens. Yeah, so Jenny's stealing, and Jenny just steals everyone's mail, because obviously she can't read. She doesn't know whose mail's who. She doesn't even have a real purpose for stealing the mail. And everyone's, like, furious at the mailman, because they're not getting their
bad
mail.
for him. He doesn't do anything wrong. He's
No.
just trying to do his job and is being harassed by an ape.
And everyone around him is just crazy. Like,
They're all mad at him.
and everyone's like...
And meanwhile, he was like, this guy brings this stuff home and it always attacks me. Like, he had
Right.
a snake bite.
Right.
He had something else attack him. So he's traumatized.
And chimpanzees are very dangerous. They rip people's faces off, chimpanzees.
He has a legitimate concern.
Chimps are more dangerous than snakes by far.
Frank, we're here for you.
They'll rip your fucking face off.
Don't fight an ape, people. You won't win.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, at some point, Jenny steals his mail truck just to make it even crazier. And I think like gets into a car accident and then gets hurt and goes to the hospital. And the hospital's like, we can't treat this. It's a chimpanzee. It's not this is a person hospital. And then they just end up treating the monkey.
Because, all right, so this was completely bizarre. So first, this expert in apes, he's a PhD, not like an MD doctor. So
Right.
he's like, I can't do this. Let me bring this animal to a hospital for humans.
Right.
Like the smart person who studies apes for a living decides to bring the ape to a human hospital.
You can only do surgery on 2 types of things in a hospital: people and grapes. And that's it. And he tried to do surgery on a chimpanzee?
Yeah, that's big no.
It's crazy.
So then the nurse is like, no, we don't do that here because she's sane. And he's like, no, but you have to. And she's like, honey, that's an ape, not a human.
Right. Because if you think about it, so it's hospital and animal hospital. Whenever there's no word animal before it, it's presumed it's for humans.
Yes.
Like
But
when you go to the park, but the dog park is for dogs.
But but just park is for humans.
Right.
And sometimes dogs. Like
I
you
guess,
can bring
but
your
it's not
dog, but it has to be on a
specifically-
leash.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
not specifically for
Yeah.
dogs. Or if you like go to school or the animal school, which is for animals.
Right. Just checks out. But they made it sound like the nurse was being a bitch.
Yeah.
For not admitting the ape. Another, like, she's like, Frank, she's just doing her job.
Incredible.
But then Jenny starts doing sign language, and the nurse is like, oh, if animals know sign language, then we can treat them. Bring her on back.
And isn't there some like deaf kid in the waiting room?
Yeah, so he's signing with
Yeah,
Jenny.
and it's like, okay, and who cares?
That animal is still an animal, and vets and medical human doctors have different skill sets, even though Jenny knows sign language.
It doesn't. You know those videos of like the dogs that push the buttons to speak?
Yes.
Do you think if someone brought a dog in and she was like, we can't treat a dog, that's crazy, and then they just put the mat on and it started saying like hello and I want
Hi, treat, walk. Hi, treat,
she's
walk.
like, oh, I gotta let
yeah.
you in. I gotta let you in. I'm sorry.
Doctor.
He pushed the buttons on the mat. It didn't make any sense, but he pushed them. We got to do surgery on
Watch,
him.
the dog's going to say hi. Hi. Treat. Ouch. Treat. Ouch.
Pee. So yeah, very ridiculous. So eventually, Jenny gets surgery done. It was from the car accident, right? Is how Jenny got hurt?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
crashing the mail truck that she stole from an innocent mailman.
How did her feet even reach the pedals? That's got to be tough.
That's
'Cause she wasn't that big.
Movie magic. We're not supposed to question that.
Okay.
We're also not supposed to question why knowing sign language gets her admitted to a hospital.
Well, that makes more sense, I think, than the driving. So this is when things... So if you think things were off the rails already, this is when they get even more off the rails. So it doesn't tell us how far away from the time that she steals the mail in the mail truck this happens. But the mailman sues Jenny, and, like, nothing happens before. It's not like small claims court. They're in a huge courtroom with, like, a lot of people there. Like, clearly just a civil court.
Jenny's in her best dress.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer, so this really frustrated me, this scene.
We had to pause at one point.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Like, you sighed and gathered your thoughts.
It was, yeah. Well,
can a human sue an animal, Sam?
So there are cases...
Because he directly sued Jenny,
I'm
not
pretty
the
sure
family.
There are cases where animals have gotten sued. But it's a civil case. He's definitely suing the monkey. There's no criminal charges. Nothing's happening. So they both come up front to, like, their benches where the, like, plaintiff and defendants usually sit. And the judge just reads the charges, which makes no sense because it's not a criminal case. There's no charges.
Well, isn't maybe stealing the truck? Isn't that a federal crime, messing with the mail?
That'd be in federal court and would be prosecuted by, like, federal prosecutors, not by the mailman. He would be prosecuting the case. It didn't make any sense at all. None of it made any sense. I don't know if it was a criminal case or a civil case. It definitely was a civil case.
I mean, Sam, this is no My Cousin Vinny.
Nah, dude, don't get me started. This is not even in the same galaxy as My Cousin Vinny. And then the judge I think the judge says this out loud. Is just the animal would be destroyed if found guilty.
And there are children present.
And again, found guilty of what? It's not even a criminal case. There's no whatever. But yeah, that was insane. That was just said out loud. And it was just a given. Like, oh, if they lose, oh, it's killed. We just kill this monkey. In reality,
we don't, like, release it back into the wild.
Generally, in terms of dogs, if you get bit once and the dog's never bit anyone before, you kind of get a free pass. Once it's bit twice, then you know as the propensity to bite, and that's when you really get in trouble. And it's not the dog who gets in trouble, although they probably do kill the dog. It's more so suing the person who owns the dog.
And Jenny didn't bite anyone.
I think she may have.
No, she just messed with the mail and stole a truck.
I think there was a physical altercation too, but I can't remember now.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
Because she just crashed the car and then ended up in the human hospital.
Did you ever see the movie? Oh, it's the Adam Sandler movie, Grandma's Boy.
That was an Adam Sandler movie?
His, like, production company.
Yeah.
And when he has a monkey, and then he lets the monkey drive the car.
I don't remember that. I just remember Grandma playing the video game and kicking butt.
Oh, well, that was great.
Yeah.
So there's a scene where a monkey drives a car, and it's obviously fake. It's just like it's a real car, but it's not moving at all. And in, like, the outtakes, or in the actual movie, I can't remember what it was, they're, like, sitting next to the monkey, and it's driving, and it, like, almost bites one of them. And he was, like, said after the movie that he was, like, freaked out because the monkey almost bit him.
Oh, man.
Chimps are no joke. Like, they're legit dangerous. They're way, way stronger than they look. And they're, like, very vicious. Just saying.
And they had this chimp acting around children.
I think when they're younger, they're okay, but once they reach a certain age.
Okay, and they did mention that in the movie. That as Jenny got older, she would become more and more dangerous.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put on the case. This podcast is just going to be about this court case. I'm just going to put this out there.
I'll be in the other room. Let me know when you need me.
Because this movie's almost over already. Jenny, like, takes the stand. And at some point, the letter gets brought up. Andrew brings up the letter to the father and says that he ripped it up, whatever. So they address that, which has nothing to do with the case.
This is family court now.
Yeah, it's every court. It's every court combined. So we get to bankruptcy court at some point when they lose the case. Pam is in the house. She gets up and starts talking just for no reason. She's not involved in this case at all. She's not a witness, whatever. She's just
character witness for Jenny.
The judge is like, "Oh, are you Pam, Professor Pam, whatever? I love your books. I love your stuff." It's like, why would she say that in the first place? She's like, just because I love you so much, I'm going to let you talk.
And also, So the judge has presumably read all of this doctor's work, but she was surprised at the beginning of the case that Jenny knew sign language.
Yeah, and that's all this professor really does, is what it sounds like. It's
Yeah, she just works with
chimpanzees,
apes
yeah.
and teaches them sign language.
so ridiculous. I think they go into chambers. Oh, she says she has all the books in chambers, whatever. They all go into judges' chambers and come to some sort of agreement. That is accurate. That happens all the time. I'm not joking at this point. Is you do try to settle cases in the judge's chamber, so not it's out and open in court. So that part is accurate. I'll give them that. But that seemed like kind of an accident more than anything else.
Yeah, they were like, Your Honor, can you please stop threatening to kill this animal that my children are attached to? And let's go in your chambers and talk this out.
They're just like, okay,
I guess.
I guess so.
And the bailiff is like, oh my God, I need a raise. Also accurate, I'm pretty sure.
The bailiffs need raises?
Yeah.
They probably get paid pretty well.
Well, that they're thinking that they need a raise.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's no doubt.
Yeah.
Every single person in the courtroom thinks they need a raise. That's for sure.
Scientific fact.
Oh, that's the most accurate
There have
part.
been studies. You walk into a courtroom. Do you need a raise? Yes, you may proceed.
So what's decided is that Jenny is being taken away from the family and is being sent to Pam's,
Research facility,
right.
which is in the same city and seems like a pretty nice place.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a zoo kind of, but like more like glass enclosures and all indoors. It kind of seems like. I'm sure there's an outdoor area, but I don't think we see that at all.
Yeah. So she takes Jenny away. The kids don't get to say bye. Jenny's just gone when they get home from school.
Well, I thought Jenny was on the treehouse or something.
Yeah, Jenny was in the treehouse. Either Pam or the dad got her out. Like
That's what
they
it
talked
was.
her
Right,
down.
Right.
But the kids didn't get to say bye.
Sad.
Very. And then Andrew decides that he's going to go get Jenny.
Right, because he comes home from like school or something. He's looking for Jenny. Hugo breaks the bad news, and then he's like, you know what? I'm off. Deuces.
Gonna ride my bike across the city to this ape sanctuary or whatever it is and bust Jenny out.
And he makes it there, and he gets locked in the facility with Jenny.
Because, for obvious reasons, the door's locked. So
The monkeys can't open the
monkeys
door.
can't get out.
The chimps, whatever. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The
Did you think something bad was going to happen to him when he was there?
I mean, I kind of assumed he would get caught, but I didn't think anything bad would happen.
I thought the other chimps might go after him.
Rip him limb from limb.
Yeah. Or that Jenny would protect him.
No, that didn't cross my mind at all.
And they'd all pick, like, bugs at each other's hair.
And he would become one of them?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
And they go like, one of us, one of us, one of us. But none of that happened. And he just falls asleep in the thing. Pam sees him there and calls his parents, and they just come the next morning, it seems like.
Cut to Africa. Somewhere. We don't know where. Somewhere on the continent of Africa.
The jungle part.
Yeah.
Yep.
The jungle part of Africa.
Yep.
The whole family is there, including the mom. And they're going to release Jenny back into the wild.
Which they do. And she reunites with the same family.
Yeah,
right?
it
that
seemed
she was
like it
born
was
out of.
her siblings.
Yeah. And she's like a little awkward at first. She's like, hey guys, I'm over here. Hi. You guys want some muffins?
And they were like, yeah, we like muffins.
She's like, okay, I'm out, but hey, I'm your sister.
Oh, cool. What kind of muffins are they?
I don't know. You must have not heard me. I said I'm out of muffins. I was just saying that to say hi.
No, but what kind of muffins are they?
Oh, okay. Chocolate.
We like chocolate muffins.
Okay. Bye. we learned sign language for this movie, so we know what the monkeys were saying to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Despite
really
the fact
like.
that only Jenny knows sign language and none of the other ones do. So.
But they guaranteed like chocolate muffins.
Yep. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So she reunites with the family. The family, her human family, says bye to her. And that's the movie.
Yep. Yeah.
What'd you think of this movie, Joanna?
I was not a fan of this movie.
Is it because you hate animals?
Yes. No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a reason.
No. I just, It's one of those movies that if there was a redeeming quality, it was overshadowed by the plot holes, by the annoying characters, and just by the general ridiculous nature of it.
Yes, I agree. And I also did not care for this movie. It was very boring. I was glad when it was over. Acting was fine, but besides that, not a fan. I won't be telling our grandkids about this movie.
No, definitely not.
Little Laser and Blazer. I won't be telling them about this movie. Yeah, so you want to get into some questions?
Sure, you go first.
What was your favorite scene?
I didn't have a favorite scene.
All right.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, fair.
Nothing. What about you?
Obviously, the courtroom scene.
That was your favorite?
It was the scene that piqued my interest the most.
I thought that would have been what you wanted to change.
No, it was the most I paid attention to. I couldn't stop being mad. If something makes you mad, that means it really has somewhat of
Okay,
an
it had an
influence on you.
emotional impact on you.
Yeah.
All right. And you appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it got me mad online.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Well, now I'm really wondering, what would you change?
I wish this movie was about a kid being adopted by a family of chimpanzees, and the chimpanzees were teaching the kid how chimpanzees communicate with one another.
So you wish that we watched Tarzan?
Sort of, but Tarzan's different because Tarzan is already assimilated with the monkeys to begin with.
Oh, so you want like an older kid, like Andrew's age,
Like
to be adopted by chimpanzees.
I want a baby to be adopted by chimpanzees and following it from a baby and not from like a little bit older.
So like, the early days, Tarzan's early days.
Yeah. Like the first 2 minutes of Tarzan, like that for an entire movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How about you? And don't say the entire movie.
Okay. So two things. One, it really frustrated me whenever they would just say like Africa. It just bothered me.
What country do you think it was?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm gonna
That's
say
probably one of the reasons why I wish they had identified which country in Africa.
I'm gonna say Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay. They could have said that.
Yeah,
They could have said something. Just identify a country.
fair.
Also, I wish that the movie had ended with the mother divorcing the father.
That just
She
got
needed
cut.
freedom.
Once we got the family court, they cut that part out while they were in chambers.
Like, Your Honor, while we're here,
Who would you most want to hang out with?
I couldn't think of anyone I would want to hang out with in
Oh
this
my
movie.
God.
Even like,
Jenny?
even Jenny, even the mom. And I've realized that the mom, like I'm finding that I want to hang out with the moms.
Always.
Not this mom.
You don't relate to this mom much?
No.
I guess when I go to Africa, I don't go for 8 months. It's only like 6 or 7 usually.
Yeah, and you tell me.
Which country?
Yeah. You tell me which country you're in. You don't make me call each embassy.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Who would you hang out with?
So I would hang out with Andrew, the son, but only him playing Max Keeble.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to hang out with any character from this movie.
No, I'd want to hang out with Andrew as Max Keeble.
So you wouldn't want to hang out with a character from this movie.
He seemed fine though, generally. Like no qualms.
He was a kid. Yeah.
Exactly. He was too young to hang out. And also we don't know anything about him.
Yeah, other than he's attached to this monkey.
We barely know anything about any character except for Jenny. That's all we know.
Yeah, and she also has the most character development.
It's insane how they could do that.
Who do you think Ryan Gosling would play?
I think Professor Pam.
So at first, that's what I was thinking.
Don't say Jenny.
And then I just thought, Ryan Gosling's not in this movie.
Oh, I get that's fair. I mean, he could play Andrew also, I think. As like a really young kid, you know.
Okay, so child Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Or no, modern Ryan Gosling playing a child.
That'd be interesting. I think that'd work. Do you want to start with hot seat or do you want me to? I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be the same question, but maybe not.
Okay, you go first.
If you could have any exotic animal, what would it be? Like legit
Ooh.
exotic.
We have different questions.
All right, cool.
Um, the first animal that popped into my head was a whale. A killer whale. I want a killer whale.
Okay. Done.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow and there's going to be a whale outside.
Aren't killer whales not even whales?
I don't. What?
Isn't like Free Willy's a killer whale, right?
Yeah, an orca? Isn't he an orca?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think that's a whale.
What were we watching that someone brought up Free Willy like a couple days ago?
Oh, we were watching some show.
Was it Love on the Spectrum?
I don't think so.
It had to be that or Friday Night Lights, because that's the only thing we've been watching recently.
It might have been Friday Night Lights.
Maybe.
And they were like, I love that whale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably was that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very funny answer.
Did you want to answer or do you want my hot seat question?
I had nothing, but probably just like a falcon. I don't know.
Is that an exotic pet?
How many people do you know with falcons?
Actually, I know two people with falcons.
That have a falcon as a pet.
Yeah, they're like part of like they're falconers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
I'm a falconer, but I'm still working on the falcon. All right. So I have two questions, and if you don't want to answer the first one, then I'll ask the second one.
Let's do it.
What is the most annoyed you've been with a family member? And this has to do with the movie because the mom being annoyed with the dad for being away for 8 months instead of 3.
I think that, I mean, I know this is partially my fault, but I'll say it anyway. And it did annoy me. So when I was like in my 20s, oh my, this is so stupid.
Do you want me to ask the other question?
No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. It's a funny story, but it's me being stupid leading to me getting annoyed by other people. So I was home and some girl asked me to hang out, and it wasn't you. Before I knew you.
What?
I know. I lived before I knew you. I'm sorry.
I'm horrified.
And I told because I was living at home at the time. I felt awkward just saying that to my mom. So I told her that I was going to pick up my friends from the bars because I needed a ride home, which is a pretty good excuse, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you don't want your friends driving drunk.
Yeah.
She doesn't want your friends driving drunk.
Which was a lie because I wasn't doing that.
Sam.
So I went to her house and I didn't realize it because I keep my phone on silent at all times, which you know.
Yes, that's a fact.
Except for my alarms. And so my mom was calling me because she was like, he'd probably be home by now. And I look at my phone and it has like 25 missed calls. I was like, oh my God. And it's all from like my mom, my sister, whatever. So I pick up the phone, I call my mom. I'm like, hey, I got tons of text messages, like, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I gotta call. So I call my mom, and she picks up, like, screaming at me. Like, where were you? What happened? Why didn't you pick up my calls? I thought you were dead, blah, blah, blah. She and my sister, or just her, I can't remember, went, like, driving around the town I said I was going to, looking for me. And, like, the person with me, like, could hear her over the phone. Like, she was, like, screaming at me. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm here. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah. And I was like so embarrassed that I got so annoyed at my mom. Although it was my fault. I should have just said
Like I'm
what I
going
was
on a
doing.
date.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was. So I got very annoyed at my mom for doing that because I felt so embarrassed in front of the person I was with. But whatever. It was 100% my fault. I take total blame for it. But I was very annoyed at her at the time.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your other question? See, oh, and what I do when you don't answer my text for a while, I don't call you. I just Google, like, Joanna car accident, blah, 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 and look up if there's any car accidents in the area. That's all I do.
So I can't really do that because you have a very common name.
Right. I mean, also, like, it wouldn't even show up if it just happened anyway. They don't just, like, report online who got into car
Happening
accidents.
right now.
I should just get, like, a police scanner or something instead.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My other question was, what is the weirdest thing a family member has brought home? And that could include yourself.
So my dad had like a stretch of 3 or 4 years, I want to say, that he would just bring home a crazy cereal, like whenever he went food shopping, just like literally like things that don't make any sense whatsoever. Like, how did you even get this in this country? It doesn't even make any sense at all.
He didn't. He flew out of the country to pick it up.
It was always like off-brand, just like the silliest name. It looked disgusting, some of them, just the silliest names.
Like off-brand cereal.
Oh my god, like made probably just straight up made of cardboard and like sand put together. But yeah, he would do that, and he'd always bring home desserts.
He still does that.
So for my brother's birthday, there's 4 people in my family. Oh, 5 people in my family at the time. Well, that sounded terrible.
Yeah, it did.
4 of us were living at home, but my brother came home because it was his birthday. So it was 5 of us were at home that night, and he bought a cake for like 20 people for my brother's birthday. We was in the freezer for like 6 months. So yeah, my dad with desserts and cereals was just crazy.
Down with the desserts.
Yeah, I mean the cereals were fine sometimes, but it was just like he didn't think we were gonna eat the cereals. Just like as a joke, he'd buy them.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my answers.
Nice. Do you have any fun facts about this movie?
No fun facts, but some of the characters, like I mentioned before, Andrew. The actor's name is Alex Lins, and he played Max Keeble and Max Keeble's Big Move, which we still have to watch. One of my favorite movies.
Favorites.
Oh, I love it. Classic movie that we have to watch. The father, Hugo, played by Lance Guest, he was the father and stepsister from Planet Weird, or the dating father. So he's very strange in both movies we've watched so far. Frank the Mailman is in a ton of movies.
Yeah, he looked familiar.
So his name is Joel Miller. He was in The Truman Show. He was one of the security guards that were watching the show.
Okay.
Yeah, IRL, they were watching the show. And
nice.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but he's in like a ton of stuff. And it kind of reminds me of Biz from Back to the Future. A little bit.
Yeah, I think
like an older version.
The haircut.
Yeah. Oh my god, he always has the same hair, I feel like.
Yes, he does. He's in the cop movie.
Paul Blart? I'm kidding.
Yeah. But he definitely plays a cop at some point.
Certainly. And I feel like he was he the other driver's father in the racing movie we watched?
I don't think so. But it's certainly possible.
Maybe I'm mixing it up with someone else. I don't know.
I don't think that was him.
Well, alas, that's all I have about the actors. Are you ready to guess about the next movie?
Yes.
So as a preface, I've never seen this movie.
Okay.
Well, I don't remember it. It's possible I've seen it, but...
So should we both guess? And see who gets closer?
Sure, let's try it.
Okay.
The movie is called Jumping Ship.
Okay. So I think this is about a person who is on a cruise ship, and the cruise ship is like taking a tour of an island, and the ship sinks, and the main character, a boy, he ends up on a desert island with a few of the other people who are on this cruise. And they're just living on this island trying to signal for help. And so the other people who are on the cruise are kind of more with it. Like one of them builds a coconut radio to signal for help. And the main character always somehow messes up their efforts.
Okay.
And this was supposed to be a 3-hour tour.
Okay. So it's like Lost.
I don't know if you're serious or not.
I'm obviously joking. I was also going to say it's about a boat crashing and getting shipwrecked. But maybe that would be called Shipwrecked instead.
Instead of Jumping Ship.
I'm going to say it's about also a cruise ship, but just like a teenage boy and girl meeting on a cruise ship and starting a relationship that way.
Okay. All right. That
Okay. All
I
right.
feel like mine is going to be the winner, but we'll see.
Teach
We'll
their
see.
own.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. Anything else you want to say about the Jennie Project?
Not about the Jennie Project.
The Jenny McCarthy Project?
Oh, we're going to need another episode.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Just a reminder to our audience to follow us on social media. On Instagram, we're at Disney Channel Original Newbies. You can email us at dconewbies@gmail.com. Please send us your thoughts on Disney Channel movies and pictures of your adorable pets. And of course, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
And tell your friends about us. Maybe they want to
Yeah.
hear about monkeys and the Jenny Project.
Oh, absolutely. Who doesn't?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
cool.
Bye.